Now,
Oh,
you and I had the exact same reaction to this match.
Yep.
You posted on Twitter first, but
Yep.
it's unanimous about how
Yes.
this ends. The Mountie versus Tatanka.
so when they announced this match,
We're going to talk for an hour about this match. Everybody.
I was just like, wow, that's a big match.
First, yeah, for superstars.
Yeah, that's a big match for superstars.
This is the main event for the month.
But it didn't really occur to me what I was going to see.
No.
It did not occur to me in the slightest the greatness that I was about to witness here.
So I need to start from the beginning. First, the Mountie comes out. He takes the microphone. He sings his song. He asks them to stop his music. And then he asks if you know who he is. But before anyone can answer, Tatanka's music interrupts. So Tatanka comes out. He's doing his dance around the ring. His music's playing. And they cut to the Mountie. And the Mountie is outraged that Tatanka cut his music off.
Even though he cut his own music off.
Yes!
He's great.
That's what the greatness begins before anything even happens.
See, the thing with the Mountie is he comes out and he demands the mic. Before he says, cut my music, he must have his mic so he can sing his own song, which he does with such joy.
Passion.
And then you actually watch the match, and I am trying to think if I've ever seen anybody who has such a joy for this process as the Mountie. Like, even Ric Flair does matches, but he's like deadly serious when he does his matches.
Sure.
Like, you know, there's some stress involved where he has this desire to be the best.
He wants
so
to,
he's not having as much fun as he could have.
It is important to Ric Flair that you leave knowing Ric Flair is the best.
Yes. Here's a good one. Do you guys all remember when Batista years ago decided that he was going to quit?
Right.
And he stopped giving a fuck. And suddenly he became fabulous.
Yes.
Okay. The Mountie is Dave Batista not giving a fuck times like 100.
With a wacky gimmick.
I've never seen anybody. He loves to be the Mountie. He loves to sing his song. He loves to work as the Mountie.
Yes.
He loves to be a comic foil. I have never seen anyone have so much fucking fun from the moment they step out on television until the moment they go away.
I have never wanted to spend so much time talking about what a guy did shortly before a tease lockup. Like, I can't even do it justice.
It's impossible.
They're going for a lockup, and the Mountie stops, and he leans back and just starts to wiggle his arms.
Yes, he's doing a little stretch.
I guess.
He's shaking his triceps, so it's like a little flabby because he's a heel.
Yes. And he ducks one lockup. He's very proud of himself because he's the damn Mountie.
Yes.
And then he begins to mock Tatanka's war dance.
Okay, so those of you that know Tatanka's war dance, he's pretty much just like galloping around the ring.
He skips.
Yeah.
It's a slow skip.
So, in attempting to recreate Tatanka's dance, you have to imagine, like, Santino doing his trumpet. What the Mountie did is much closer to Santino doing his trumpet than Tatanka's war dance.
I guess. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone do what the Mountie did.
Well, no, but he definitely was not doing the war dance.
He was not doing Tatanka's war dance.
He was kind of stomping in place.
He stomped on
a
one
little
foot,
bit of jumping.
He stomped on the other foot.
Yes.
And he kept doing it.
Oh, yeah.
He posed the turnbuckles. He got down. He stomped on one foot, stomped on the other. This went on for a while. And then we get... There's the rain dances. There's their epic slap fight.
Yes. First Tatanka slaps him.
Because he's being a dick.
For being a dick.
Yes.
So he slaps Tatanka. So Tatanka slaps him again. And now he's all rocked. And so they do a switch, and he throws this big chop at Tatanka. But Tatanka, for lack of a better term, it's 1992, he's an Indian. You can't chop the Indian.
No, of course
That's
not.
his move.
Yes.
So Tatanka no-sells it, and he fucking chops Jacques. Jacques is bouncing all over the place. And you know the spot where you do the backwards bump over the top rope?
Yes.
Ass over tea kettle bump. He doesn't even get to the ropes before Tatanka gives him the final chop. Tatanka chops him in the middle of the ring. He runs backwards and grabs rope and does the ass over tea kettle. Totally laid out. Lands on the ground.
No
and
hand
just
on the apron,
splats.
both hands on the rope.
Oh my God. It was so awesome.
Yes. It was here, maybe 60 seconds into this match, where I determined where Mountie would be by the end of this night.
Oh, it was patently
A
obvious.
lot more to go. Mountie teases walking out so they had an excuse to put a commercial break in.
Have to have, no wrestling during the breaks.
No. So after the break, there's more. Jimmy Hart tries to distract Tatanka so Mountie can sneak up on him. Mountie comes into the ring. He tiptoes up behind Tatanka. He taps him on the shoulder.
He pokes him on the shoulder blades.
Yes. And here's the key. Tatanka is a babyface, so he's not dumb.
Yes.
So when he has Jimmy Hart in his face, and he can see the referee off to his side, when someone pokes him on the shoulder, he knows it's the Mountie. So when he turns around and Mountie throws a kick, Tatanka catches it.
Yes.
We get a series of atomic drops.
It was just the whole beginning of this match was
I'm going to talk about the whole thing in great detail.
Mountie and Jimmy Hart are repeatedly trying to get the Roadrunner.
Yes.
Over and over
Exactly.
and over again.
Yes.
And every time they are foiled.
It's dueling coyotes, yes.
Because Tatanka is a babyface and he's not an idiot.
No.
And the Mountie is a fool.
Even so we get these atomic drops, which gives Mountie an excuse to sell his ass for minutes at a time.
Yes.
He falls outside, and even when he does something cool, because he skins the cat back in, so okay, he does something athletic and impressive, but then he immediately charges across the ring, messes Tatanka, and lays out Jimmy Hart.
Yes.
Because he's a buffoon.
Yes.
This match is perfect.
Over and over again. You know what else about this match? If you miss one moment of this match, you've missed a lifetime.
Yes.
There were at least 2 occasions where I had to rewind it to watch it over again because it was so great.
Yes.
If you're watching a match on Monday Night Raw and you walk and make a fucking sandwich, there's a good chance you come back and you miss nothing except some guy holding onto another guy's fucking arm for 10 minutes. Every move in this match was part of the story.
Yes.
This was closer to a G1 match than a modern WWE
I
match.
actually had the same thought.
This was like a Yano match.
This was a Toru Yano match
Yes.
in 1992 on Superstars.
And Yano actually would be the second most entertained person having fun doing a match that I've ever seen.
That's actually that's a great comparison.
Yes, I put him behind the Mountie.
As far as having fun doing what he does?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of Yano, you need to watch this match with the Mountie.
Everyone should watch this match with the Mountie. So eventually, finally, and it takes a long-ass time, Jimmy Hart is able to cheat and trip Tatanka for the heat. So the Mountie is working Tatanka over. Here, Vince has been gaslighted, and he believes that Tatanka did stop the Mountie from singing his song, even though we all saw that's not what happened.
Yes.
The Mountie hits a pile driver. He's got this Indian. He can end the undefeated streak right now.
Yes.
But he has more important stuff to do.
Because he's an idiot.
He demands the microphone. And Jimmy Hart gets in the microphone.
Excuse me. Tatanka grabs a microphone and distracts himself, or the heel Mountie?
The heel Mountie.
Okay,
The
just
heel,
checking.
The one you're supposed to not like.
So not the babyface.
No, not the one you're supposed to cheer for.
Okay.
The one whose doom you are supposed to be in favor of.
Okay.
The Mountie takes the microphone. He pulls himself up with great difficulty. Because even though he is in control, he has had a grueling encounter. And he drags himself up to his feet, and he takes this microphone, and in his mind...
This is his plan.
In his mind, he is atop a peak in the Canadian Rockies. And he looks out, and he does not see the wrestling fans. He sees the hills and the rivers and the lakes and the woods. And he gives a cry that will echo from the walls of the canyons back to him. He just declares, "I am the Mountie!"
Yep.
And he turns around, and Tatanka's there to whip his ass.
That is exactly what happened.
Because he's an idiot.
Tatanka beats the shit out of him.
He's whipping him in, hitting these chops. I have never seen a man take running chop bumps like the Mountie did here.
No, he gets hit in the head running, and so he leaps like 5 feet in the air and falls on his tailbone. The worst place to land on the worst ring possible.
He basically takes these bumps like he's doing a cannonball into a swimming pool.
Yep.
Only there's no water. It's a very hard ring.
Yes.
Takes a big giant backdrop, also on his tailbone. Finally, Tatanka misses a splash. And so Jimmy Hart passes Mountie the shock stick. He distracts the referee. The Mountie attempts to electrocute Tatanka to death.
Yes.
Tatanka dodges. The referee sees the Mountie and immediately calls for the disqualification.
You're not allowed to shock a man to death.
Can't bring
the
a
WWF.
lethal taser into the ring.
Yes.
So
Now, another key here, by the way.
yes.
After the disqualification, Tatanka's outside the ring, and the Mountie is in the ring, okay? Now, unlike Seth Rollins with Brock Lesnar, Tatanka does not get into the ring while the Mountie is looking at him with a shock stick, run up to him, and get shocked and then destroyed by the Mountie.
No.
Because he's not a fucking idiot.
He's smart.
This guy tried to electrocute him to death. And so it is perfectly fair that he should slide into the ring behind the Mountie, because he's not a moron, attack the Mountie, and send the Mountie packing so that he, the babyface, can stand tall.
Yeah. So, in the end, you get the fuck finish, but now you know that if you buy a house show ticket, and think about this, you will get to see the Mountie versus Tatanka with your own eyes. I'll buy a ticket for that right now.
I would buy a ticket today to see that match, even in 2019.
Yeah, it's the 2019 version of Jacques Rougeau and Chris Chavez, I believe. Whatever Tatanka's real name is. So, yes, and Tatanka leaves, when it's done, he is standing tall. He has won the fight, if not the match. And the crowd's all cheering, playing his music. He's still undefeated. This was a perfect wrestling match.
This was the most fun I've ever had watching the Superstars.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, by leaps and bounds.
For sure.
Would you like to do it, Vinny, or should I?
Since I've never done it before, Brian,
All right.
it is time to induct the Mountie into the Hall of Awesome.
That's right. Our newest entrant into the prestigious Matt Cleary F4W Hall of Awesome
Yes.
is, in fact, the Mountie.
He's handsome, he's brave, and he's strong.
Yes. It's about time.
Really, well, on the one hand, yes, he's long deserved, but there was no more fitting time.
No, this was the perfect time.
Yeah.
But really, we could have put him in before and put him in again here, because there have been people that have been put in multiple times.
That's actually true, too.
Yes.